Real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Lachey Averhart says the defendant is her sister. And although Lachey loves her, she claims the defendant makes a lot of bad decisions. Lachey is suing because she claims her sister got into a car accident in a rental car and used Lachey's identity when the police showed up. Defendant Taylor Green admits that she has anger issues, and it has caused her a lot of legal problems over the years. Taylor says the only reason she used Lachey's name after the accident is because she didn't have a license.
Start with you.
Well, we're here today because my sister, obviously Taylor, you know, I love her a lot, but she makes a lot of bad decisions. With her life, she's been into plenty of fights all her life. She's been in jail. If you name it, she's been in it.
In jail for what type of things? Fighting?
Yes, fighting. Yes, she likes to fight. Well, I ain't gonna say likes to fight, but she gets into fights a lot. Our family, we try to calm her down as much as possible because, you know, she's a pretty girl. We don't want her to mess up her face or anything. We want more for her. In January, my mother rented a car, and my sister took the car that night. My mother didn't know. She took the car and she drove it to Atlantic City, New Jersey. No one knew she was there, which is an hour away from where we live. She drove it there. She then crashed the car up. Then later on brought the keys back to the house. My mother never knew what happened. So my mother then receives a phone call from the rental car place saying that the car was in an accident. Once she did that, my mother was like, who got in a car accident? So then my sister confessed, you know, she got into a car accident. Then her lies continued because then I received tickets in the mail saying that I was involved in a car accident in Atlantic City the night she went. So I went to court for those tickets and they were dropped because the officer identified me as not the person. So she used my name and my date of birth because obviously she knows it because she's my sister. The guy, he looked at me and he said, "You're not the girl who was there that night."
Let me hear from her and then we'll get to back to the specifics. Okay. Ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. She is right. I did have some troubles in my life. I am trying to change my life around.
What type of troubles?
I've been in a lot of fights, in and out of the juvenile detention center.
All for violence or for other criminal conduct?
Fighting, most of it.
Most of it is violence, being violent?
Violence.
Did you ever go to any type of anger management?
Yes.
Or did you start fighting again later after that?
Yes.
You ever gotten checked out for some type of disorder?
Yes.
Emotional disorder of some sort?
Yes.
You do?
That's what they said. Yeah. They tried to give me medication, but I denied it.
Why?
Because I think that I can handle it, and I don't
need
medication. Yes.
When was the last time you had a fight?
Probably about a couple of months ago.
How long before that?
Almost every day.
So what makes you think you can handle it if you just got into a fight 2 months ago and you were fighting almost every day before that?
Plaintiff Lachey Averhart is suing her sister because she totaled a rental car and used Lachey's name when the police showed up.
I don't want you to be in prison. That's just where you're going to end up if you continue with your violent outbursts and it's unchecked or unmedicated, all right? Tell me what happened here with this car.
Yes. The night when I took the car, everybody was asleep. My boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, he's now incarcerated now. I took the car because at the time he knew how to drive, but he didn't have a driver's license either. So me, him, and my little brother, we took the trip to Atlantic City to go to the casino. And while we were down there, we had a couple of drinks and stuff. And on the way back, he was driving and swerving in from lane to lane and got into an accident with a big tour bus on the highway. And the car was totaled, and then after that, the police came. And then they asked me, well, he was on a run from jail, so he left. So I had to tell them that I was driving, and I used my sister's name because I knew she had license.
Okay, so why don't you think you should pay?
Because I did a lot of stuff for her, like watching her son when she didn't have a babysitter. And when I did have some money, I paid her at least like $50 here and there.
Toward this debt?
Yes.
Is that true?
No. I mean, she did watch my son.
No, pay you $50 or so toward the accident.
No, not in my counter. She ain't say, oh, this for the money, you know, they took. So, no.
Okay, and let me see your damages.
Okay, this is the accident report, and these are the tickets that were dropped.
Okay. What's the emotional distress you're suing about?
At the time when it happened, they took my money. I have a son to take care of, so, you know, it was hard taking care of him with no money. You know, I had that money saved up. It was around Christmas time. My son didn't have the best Christmas.
The money for?
The people who she got into an accident with, they actually came after me.
Gotcha.
The people that was...
And they entered a judgment against you?
Yeah.
Okay. You were sued for this. Gotcha. So you got her sued. And unfortunately, you have been dealt this blow of a lawsuit, but I'm at least going to order her to repay you. Both that and the emotional distress I'm sure you endured, having been sued and set back, as you say, with all the other issues you had to deal with your children and your finances. So I'm going to grant your judgment for $3,000 and go and get some treatment, all right? Yes. And you can make sure you're safe. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you. I love you a lot, and I know you got anger problems. That's why we trying to take care of it.
I still love you too.